Here's a simple explanation of what a fusee is. The movement is powered by a mainspring in a barrel, which you see right over here, with the addition of a fusee, which is this wheel over here where the chain goes from this barrel to this piece over here is a fusee. The fusee is a spiral grooved cone shaped pulley, and it's a varying diameter mounted on a wheel which is considered the first wheel. So you can see the wheel down here, and that's your first wheel. The fusee wheel drives the center wheel pinion, just like the regular first wheel would be on an American watch. The barrel has no teeth and is not a driving wheel. The barrel and the fusee are connected together by this metal fusee chain. The chain, if you look at it very closely, resembles that of a bicycle chain. The purpose of the spiral groove fusee pulley is to equalize the power from the mainspring as it unwinds and gradually pulls less. So the larger area of the fusee pulley towards the bottom, towards the wheel that you see here, compensates for the gradual weakening of the mainspring. This gives constant power to the center arbor. These are 3 English Fusee watches. Many people are mystified by the fusee, its purpose and how it works, because it's very different than most other watches. And looking at these watches, you can see that they are different than what we've looked at already. The winding arbor is on the fusee as compared to other watches that we've examined that are wound on the mainspring arbor. Our mainspring arbor would be over here. By winding the fusee chain on the fusee cone, the mainspring is wound. It pulls the mainspring. The fusee movements are key wind and key set. The French and English were the largest producers of the fusee-driven watches. The design differences between the watches made by these countries were minor. Typically, French watches are wound and set on the dial side. One problem with winding from the front on the dial side is accidentally chipping the porcelain dial around the area of the keyhole. The English watches are wound from the back by way of a hole in the dust cover and set in the front. This is similar to the early American pocket key wind and key set watches that we have seen earlier in this course. Key setting these watches is just the same as you do the American watches. The type of watch that we'll be examining is the English Fusee full plate lever movement. These were made from the mid to late 19th century. And here's 2 examples of them right here. Now the one that you see here on your left, this one has been cleaned and is in good running shape. This one is dirty, not running, and needs to be serviced. But since you already know how to clean a movement, we're not going to go through that exercise, but we will go ahead and disassemble and reassemble this clean one so that you can see the differences as compared to the American movements in terms of disassembly and assembly, and learn the various nuances of the fusee movement so that you can be successful in restoring and repairing and cleaning these watches as well as the American watches. Just like in American pocket watches, we see damage done by persons attempting to disassemble the watches. Obvious damage can be seen on the dials.